Of course, if you were in Cape Town this past weekend, you could not have denied, you can't have missed it. The Cape Town International Jazz Festival took place with loads of artists from across the country and international big stars performing in Cape Town, setting stages alight. We had Deneen out there in action, checking out the vibe, and she says it was absolutely amazing. Deneen, how are you?
I'm so good, and I feel a little bit of pressure on my voice.
Really?
This morning still from Jazz Fest Fun.
After all the screaming?
Absolutely. It was so worth it. It was a stellar lineup this year.
Man.
They ran a tight ship with time. Sound was impeccable. I mean, coming from last year's sort of niggles.
Yeah, the Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. Obviously left people a little bit sort of, you know, edgy about what to expect this year. But I have to say, sound was impeccable.
Awesome.
I mean, if we think of the likes of Mafiki Zolo.
I was so bummed that I missed them on Friday here, and how were they live?
Yes, they were fantastic. They opened up main stage, Kippie's stage. Sound was on point. They obviously ended off with Uhuru, Corner, that everyone loves. And it was such a good way to get the party started for Jazz Fest. They got people on their feet jiving. It
Fantastic.
was awesome, awesome, awesome.
And I hear the venues were also something to talk about.
Venues
Buena
were
Vista.
stunning, yeah. Baseline actually had quite a big physical change this year. They had a huge dome that was sponsored over the entire area.
Wow.
Which is actually quite nice and nice and functional, because it usually gets very chilly out that side. So it made the experience a little bit more pleasant for people, and it actually kept people hanging around Baseline stage quite a bit as well.
One of my favorite groups, I think, of the past how many years. I love these guys. Mikasa, they were rocking out at Kirstenbosch 2 weeks ago, and they were at the festival as well. How were they?
Absolutely. They had people spilling out Baseline stage, literally. There wasn't place for an ant. They also did a few covers. I mean, they did all the songs that we love, you know, true crowd pleaser. But they also did one cover in particular of Miguel.
Oh, wow.
Adorn.
Yes.
And it was stunning. Jay Something looked so dapper. They were all dressed up, and, you know, these guys just, they come, they bring it, and they took the crowd home, and they were fantastic.
And I mean, South African artists are really representing. They've taken that level of performance a notch higher. You got the likes of, like you said, Mafiki Zolo, Mikasa. Zonke was also there, right?
Zonke was also there. It was actually quite funny because she was on just before Mikasa.
Wow.
And you know, with Zonke, everyone was waiting for her song Feelings. And just when, you know, people were watching the time, they're like, oh, we love you, Zonke, but we need to get to Mikasa. As you kind of left, you heard her play Feelings, and everyone was like, oh,
gotta go back for that.
Backtrack, gotta stay to enjoy this one. So she was absolutely beautiful. Her band was stunning as well.
Nice.
Had violins and a lot of string instruments on stage with her as well, so it was absolutely stunning.
Now, of course, the big headline act, you know, according to come last year, but then didn't come because she was playing in a movie, Jill Scott.
Yes.
How was she?
Let me just tell you, both men and women alike were in awe of her performance.
So even the guys were turning into soul sisters.
You know, and I love, you know, you look at this woman and all you see is strength, power. You can see she's so comfortable in her own skin up there. She sashayed onto the stage when she arrived, and she actually left with a little toast in her hand. So I think there was a good thumbs up to Cape Town. I think we showed Miss Jill Scott a good time. But more than that, she really pulled out all the stops on a stunning performance. She sounds impeccable, just like she does on her album. She sounds like that live, so it was amazing. Definitely something to remember, and was so worth the wait, seeing as though she kept us waiting all
a whole year. And our own
yeah.
local artist as well. When I look at your hair, I'm kind of thinking about her as well, because she has a similar kind of cut on the side. Claire Phillips, eh?
Yes, Claire Phillips. And Claire Phillips actually was on sort of just halfway through Jill Scott. So she started her performance then, and people, obviously, we love Claire Phillips, and we were like, oh, but now the struggle, because how do we choose? But it was actually fabulous to see when we left Jill Scott stage that Claire Phillips had an amazing turnout. I mean, you know, she's got her loyal support. She packed a good stage, and she was smooth, velvety, and just beautiful, as she always is, solid.
Now, I remember being very surprised last year. I thought the music festival was all about the jazz, but it's a lot of different genres as well. And I remember watching AKA performing as well, and I hear that him and Kuli Chana were quite a big
Kuli Chana, AKA, they actually closed down Jazz Fest this year.
Wow.
And it was beautiful. It was tight. You know, I think it's always so cool to see our hip-hop artists with a full-on band as opposed to just their backtracks.
Oh, okay, so they had full band.
Full-on band. It was just smoke machines going, dramatic entrances. They really brought the house down. Also had people spilling out Baseline stage, which was fantastic.
Awesome. So you'd say, all in all, a great Jazz Fest.
Great Jazz Fest. Another highlight was also Brand New Heavies for me.
Yeah?
Brand New Heavies, you know, they're a band that kind of your parents like and enjoy from the old school time, but the music transcends. And a little inside info also is that Craig Native actually dressed the 3 lead band members this year.
So and he's showing off his line there.
Definitely. It was a nice way to kind of tie in, you know, the international acts, sporting a little bit of local support. So Brilliant. He really pulled out the stops. They looked absolutely awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being there for us and keeping us up to date. I know you enjoyed it. You even tweeted pictures of your tags.
Yes.
Like, here I am.
I did. It was absolutely awesome. Good to be out there representing and bring it back ASAP. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Well, have yourself a fantastic week. Great to have you.
Oh, thanks you too, Kat.
Yeah. Keeping you in touch with what's happening on the entertainment scene. Lots more to come. Kev Orkin is still in the studio. We'll see you after this.